So after an hour and 20 minutes, Wade finally caught up to Francis, but before he could get to him, he had to deal with Francis's hooligans first, and Wade was going through these niggas with the least amount of effort, which is equivalent to the amount of effort a black father puts into raising his children. And he made sure that this first nigga can only participate in the Paralympics. Broski here won't have to stress about working on his abs, and he got the third nigga straight in the middle of his forehead, forcefully gave him a third eye. Ironic he got enlightenment when Wade took his lights out. And the rest of the niggas after these three were being treated like substitute teachers in a rough public school. No respect was given to them, and y'all know how disrespectful Wade can get, don't you? And the worst part is, after all the shit that he's done, he was out here using these niggas' unconscious bodies like macaroni in an arts and crafts project. Wade then secured a lift from the emo dyke who shot him up to the ship, and after some yapping, these niggas finally got to boxing. But before I commentate over the shit, I have to highlight that this nigga Francis is just overflowing with swagger. I mean, bro, you only have to look at his walk to see what I'm talking about. But that aside, let's get to the display of ignorance. So Francis charges in, swings, then Wade evades, and the next set of moves that Wade hit of him weaving and spinning was so elegant that for a minute I forgot that he was in a life-threatening fight and thought he was in a ballroom. Francis then headbutts Wade, and him doing this confirmed to me that he's a threat to society. Yes, this, not him torturing people, not him kidnapping Wade's girl, but this, because if you're willing to get a hit in by any means necessary, even if it means throwing your head in the mix, then no one is safe around you. And yes, that includes you too, Tanjiro Kamado. That innocent smile doesn't fool me. Wade responds to the headbutt by serving him a bicycle kick to the dome, moving like he's playing in the La Liga. And it's a good thing that Francis's nerve endings are burnt, because if not, he would have felt that for a week straight. Because you can clearly see that this nigga Wade put his entire weight in this kick. So while Francis was looking for the chromosomes he lost from that kick, Deadpool uses that opportunity to help out his girl by making a hole in the tube so she doesn't start hearing that Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks track in her head.
Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. Can't live, can't breathe with no air.
Francis throws a barrage of attacks at Wade that don't deal damage until he gets a hit in on Wade from the back by putting an X near his spine like that's where treasure is located. And he leverages that attack by using it to drag Wade, pin him to the wall of the container, and try to go for the headshot. But Wade ducks out the way of that shit and capitalizes on his proximity to Francis to land a hit. And like Designer after dropping Panda, he tried to go in for another hit but sadly failed. But no worries, he eventually landed an attack by stabbing him in the thigh, which had Francis stuck in place like an underprivileged high schooler dealing with teenage pregnancy. But while Deadpool was down on him, Francis tries to score a hit but failed, as Deadpool did one of the 3 procedures you have to do when on fire, and rolls away. When he tries to get on his feet, Francis was like, fuck that, hit the floor, no Denzel Curry. And I must say, this attack from Francis is very impressive considering that he's stuck in place and doesn't have that much momentum, so him being able to kick Wade this far is amazing. Francis then tries to put his axe throwing skills to use, but Wade was like, no thanks, return to sender, and throws a kick in there like he's trying to make a punchy instrumental. Once again, the strength of these niggas' legs is highly impressive because there's no build up like running to get momentum for the jump, it's just straight bounce. This shit is crazy.
Fine. Feast. Oh, sounds like your last Saturday night.
Bro, Wade, please shut the fuck up and leave the childish sexual jokes to me. This nigga's trying to take my job and he should be focused on boxing. Fuck's wrong with him? Francis goes in with the pop, then Wade hits him with the... My nigga, Wade, I thought you were an assassin, or is that a side hustle? Because what business do you have pimp slapping niggas? Wade kicks his head, then tries to get a spin kick in, but that fails as Francis grabs him by the leg and throws him away the same way I've discarded hopes of Baby Keem dropping an album this year. Francis manages to get in 1, 2, 3 hits, grabs Wade by the leg, and then they roll around on the ground. He takes Wade's knife and proceeds to use it against him, but Wade weaves every strike. Grabs a hold of Francis, then tries to rip Francis's head right off his shoulders. But he wasn't budging and chucks Wade away. And lucky for Wade, he is who he is, because if not, he would have turned to Christopher Reeve after making impact with this. And Francis made sure not to let Wade get back to his senses as he uses his knee, then stabs the side of his head and proceeds to relentlessly punch this nigga's face in. Bro, Francis, have you not seen Wade's face? You making it worse. What's wrong with you, bruh? But lucky for Wade, his girl pulls through and gets Francis off him. But turns out the stab to the brain turned this nigga Wade retarded, because why is he out here doing this bullshit? Lock the fuck in, Wade. But him and Francis finally get back on their feet. But as a result of nigga Sonic emo teenager causing an explosion to save Colossus's fraudulent ass from having his head removed from his body, the ship that Francis and Wade were on ended up collapsing, which caused the stage change. And at this point, you could smell the end credits coming from afar, because no tackle, no futile resistance from Francis, no corny power friendship ass speech from Colossus could save this nigga. Because the moment Wade heard Francis say he can't fix his face and start stop it from looking like a herpes-infested nutsack, it was over, as Deadpool hit him with the coup de grace.